Thank you, friendship, shalom, and greetings to you all. Now, I hope none of you had any tragic, sad, distressing events occur on the 9th of Av, that bad luck day. We survive tragic events. We always have. We always will. So celebrate the opportunity you all have to make your lives the way you want. Now, I've been getting a lot of great questions and comments from listeners and viewers, and I really appreciate that so many of you take the time to comment, to ask, to suggest. So thank you for all your sharing of your sacred time with me. Speaking of time seems to be whipping right along. It seems just yesterday we turned the wheel and welcomed the summer, and here we are over a month later. It is still with us, so get out and enjoy it. I know a lot of couples are. There's a lot of weddings going on right now, and many being planned, organized, made ready. And I'm so blessed to have been and to be able to officiate at so many couples' most sacred day, when two souls join together. And of course, this week's a special time for that, because this week marks that special day, the Festival of Love, Tu B'Av, which just means 15th of Av, 2 being 15. Now, it's a day of love and rebirth. The Jewish Valentine's Day, but on steroids. And there's many great celebratory holidays that actually take place on the 15th of a month. It's a full moon, and holidays take place around new and full moons. And the two that immediately come to mind are Passover, the great festival of freedom, and Sukkot, a day in which we surround ourselves with the blessings of joy, health, abundance. Now, for many, that's actually their favorite holiday of the year. For centuries, this has been a holiday hardly noticed. And it's really only since the modern state of Israel came into being that it has been celebrated again. But the Talmud tells us much about how it was perceived in ancient times. We are told that many years ago, so if the Talmud is talking about many years ago, you know it's old. Anyhow, many years ago, the Talmud explains, the daughters of Jerusalem would go dance in the vineyards on the 15th of Av, and whoever did not have a wife would go there to find a bride. Now, the Talmud considered this to actually be the greatest festival of the year, with Yom Kippur coming in a close second. Well then, what's to be the reason for becoming man and wife? Is it love that brings you here? Or love that brings you life? For if loving is the answer, then who's the giving for? Do you believe in something that you've never seen before? There is love. There is love. You know, if nothing else, there is always love. And for all the couples I have and will marry, there is love. Now, that is the wedding song by the great Paul Stuckey from Peter, Paul, and Mary. Celebrate love, my friends. It is the glue that holds the universe together, and the universe seems pretty fragile at times. So let's all take a few minutes and share some love. Any and all love, and let's all come together and gather, like I say, not as a mob, but as the collective consciousness of seekers showing faith. Any and all faith. As a community, a chavura, fellowship, which is what we are, expressing our nature of kindness, compassion, thoughts, feelings, hopes, dreams, and wishes. It unites us all in this community house of spirit, Beth Ruach, sharing and bringing light, keeping fear at bay. And even though together we are individual in our approach, each connecting in his or her own way. Don't let anybody tell you you're doing it wrong and you got to do it their way. So once again, please do go ahead and invite everybody, some physically, the rest digitally, psychically, emotionally, spiritually, to gather and share from Psalm 133, the Hine Matov. Come together. Hine Matov. Shevet Achim Gam Yah. Hine Matov. Shevet Achim Gam Yah. How good, how pleasant it is for brothers and sisters together. Community. together. Let's all spread love, goodwill, and fellowship to the world. Remember, friends, this is your setting aside just a little bit of sacred time in your sacred space to honor and converse with whoever, whatever you happen to believe in. We all believe in something. It's a part of your kavanah, your intention that you put out to the universe. It is your goodwill. Let's take some time now. Let's send some of that goodwill, some light, some healing, out to whoever you know that needs it. Healing and renewal for everybody. It floats through space, finding those in need. So send it out. For those you know and for the souls and spirits of everybody you love. So think of whoever that needs healing and renewal and love, or just plain goodwill. Focus on them. Call their names. It's not just for people, it's for our pets, it's for the earth. It is the healing of the world, the tikkun olam. That's part of our spiritual genetic makeup. It is our job to help heal the world. It's not a job for us to complete. It's an ongoing task we deal with in this lifetime and every other lifetime. It always has been, always will be, and we must do our part. Wisdom says we must do what we can, and we do. And a part of that healing of the world is when we send out thoughts and energy for health and renewal and goodwill for everybody. They don't have to be sick. It's for those in our hearts and our minds. Let's all send energy out for the people in need everywhere. For Tamara, for Mark and Lindsay, for Alan, for Agent K, for Snoopy and MW, for Dave and Connie, for Adrian, Jim, for Mary and Matt, for Kevin and Ann, for Terry and Joe and Devorah. Friends, it is the kindness, the healing wishes, the goodwill and love we all send out. It just circles the world finding those in need. So thank you, each of you, for all you do, for all you care. Because the world is a world of spirit, and spirit never dies. Me. Have a painu. Makor ha. Limotenu. May the source of strength bless the ones before us. Help us find the courage. Make our lives a blessing. The renewal of heart. The renewal of spirit. Let us say, Amen. Yishaberach, let us all have our spirits renewed. This is the great prayer for healing, my friends, in which we call upon God to heal as He's healed before. Mishaberach, may He who blessed, because all healing's a blessing. Let's all send and receive healing and renewal energy in our efforts to love, to share, to care, to grow. Now we're gathered together listening to the words of one man, Moses. Keep in mind, this is the book of the retelling of the law. This week we get a retelling of the Ten Commandments. There's some changes. In toto, they are basically the same. But look for the differences. They are there. And they say a lot. As we sit together and we read, Va'etchanan And I Pleaded. Deuteronomy 3:23. And I pleaded. These are powerful words. They're the words of desperation, of entreaty. This is begging. This is what happened when Joseph was thrown in the pit to die. He pleaded with his brothers not to kill him. They ignored him. We can only imagine how alone and hopeless he must have felt. Moses pleads with God to the same result. Just think of it. Now, one of the most important things is actually said at the beginning of this farewell address. Great instructions. You have to kind of wonder what happened. Deuteronomy 4:1. And now, Israel, hear the statutes and the laws that I'm about to teach you to do, so you may live. And so you shall come and take hold of the land that the Lord God of your fathers is about to give to you. You shall not add to the word that I charge you, and you shall not subtract from it. There you go. Do not add, do not subtract. There are volumes that some argue is an addition. We can be obsessed with the idea that more is better. You know what? Maybe simple was better. Maybe if those simple rules from God of how to live were followed, there would be less need for the myriad of human laws. Now, our first big noticeable change occurs as Moses introduces this grand sermon. And the Lord spoke to you from the midst of the fire. The sound of words you did hear, but no image did you see except the sound. And he told you his covenant that he charged you to do, the 10 words, and he wrote them on 2 tablets of stone. And me, did the Lord charge at that time to teach you statutes and laws for you to do in the land into which you were crossing over, to take hold of it. Yes, the people did hear, but they did also see. And Moses is using a very clever oratorical tool. He's telling the people they were there. Surely they remember. But of course they weren't there. And he's reminding them that God charged him with the task of teaching them the laws. And this is going to lead to a rabbinic prelude, as God said to Moses. We can use that for anything. You have a question? Well, as God said to Moses. And to add weight, Moses throws in Deuteronomy 4:26. I call the skies and the earth to witness. Remember, 2 witnesses were always needed. You can't do much better, heaven and earth. And then he adds, he is God in the skies above and on the earth below. There isn't another. There isn't another. There is only one God, God of everything. The Lord your God sealed the covenant with us at Horeb. Horeb, of course, is Sinai. Not with our fathers did the Lord seal the covenant, but with us, with we who are here today, all of us alive. Face to face did the Lord speak to you on the mountain from the midst of the fire. I was standing between the Lord and you at the time to tell you the word of the Lord. For you were afraid in the face of the fire and did not go up the mountain, saying, I am the Lord your God who brought you out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of slaves. Moses mixes past, present, future. He speaks to the people in front of him as if they had all been at Sinai 40 years earlier, which of course none of them were. Now he says it explicitly, powerfully, unmistakably. Each generation must see themselves as personally standing at Sinai, not just as inheriting their parents' covenant, but as making the covenant themselves. It is a present, living commitment for an organic set of laws. We then get the retelling of the 10 Commandments, and there are differences. And I want you, as you read them, to see if you spot them. We can talk about them later. The initial restatement of the Decalogue from quite a while ago occurs in the direct narration of the awe-inspiring Sinai Epiphany, when God, descending from the heavens to make his words known, powerfully manifests himself as creator of heaven and earth. This present reiteration of the Decalogue takes place at the moment the people are poised to enter the promised land, establish a society, exercise power over others. And remember, all of the 10 Commandments via you in the singular are directed to each individual, male and female, with the exception, of course, of the first part of the last commandment, you shall not covet your neighbor's wife, which is explicitly directed only to men. We then get an unexpected piece of liturgy. The single most important prayer in Judaism, an ode to monotheism known as the Shema. Deuteronomy 6:4. Hear, Israel, the Lord our God, the Lord is one. Now this entire passage, through to verse 9, has been aptly described as a catechism, and it entirely fits its character as an exhortation to cleave to God's teachings that it later should have been incorporated in a daily liturgy recited twice each day. Now, some translators rendered the Hebrew echad, one, as alone. But that wasn't its usual definition or use of the word. The statement stands as it has been traditionally construed as a ringing declaration of monotheism. It is a call to love and honor God. How do we love God? With all our hearts, with all our beings, with all our might. As it says, with all your heart. The heart is the seat of understanding in biblical physiology, but it is also associated with feeling, with all your being. And the Hebrew nephesh means life breath or essential self. Now, the traditional translation of soul, which is preserved in many versions, it's a little misleading because it suggests this body-soul split, which was alien to biblical thinking. With all your might, with all the strength and power that you can muster. I was talking to my dear friend Kim the other evening about this very prayer and how translation influences how we think of things. Words had meanings. Israel alone is one, as an example. It was not a geographical, but a term meaning wrestles with God, and that's how it would have been heard to the people then. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. 6-word prayer. Shema Israel Adonai Elohim Adonai Echad. Hear, O Israel, the Lord is God, the Lord is one. It's a simple 6-word prayer. Listen, hear, you who wrestle with God. God is God alone. Such a simple but powerful statement. This prayer is to be found in the tefillin, the ones wrapped on the arm and the ones on the head worn once a day in the morning by observant male Jews. And it's the prayer housed in the mezuzah found on most doors of Jewish homes and businesses. And it promotes this book of words with its reminder to listen. Forms of this word, Shema, occur about 80 times in Deuteronomy. Friends, this emphasis on listening goes together with the title and theme of the book, words. Moses' speech. The great events of creation, patriarchs, Exodus, Sinai, and the wilderness are at an end. What remains now is the words, the story of what happened, the commandments to be fulfilled. Israel's task now and its future generations is to listen. Yes, the world is sacred. So is everything in it. Express your gratitude, light a candle, make a wish. Celebrate your life and the lives of those you love. Share your feelings with them. Live free, be free, honor your freedom, be well, be happy, be blessed. Share and honor the light and all who live in the light and continue to shine. Continue to send everybody you know goodwill and love. Pray for peace and freedom for everyone. And end to terror and hatred. Remember, friends, we are a community. We learn together, we celebrate each other, we love each other, we share this right together. Men and women equally. So let's send out love, not fear. Send out peace, harmony, goodwill, and healing to all who need it. And please do learn to forgive and learn to love. Open your hearts. Honor the relationships of your life and tell those you love that you love them. Take advantage of the time you have. Enjoy the journey, because we take the twists and turns and the patterns that weave through the fabric of our lives in our efforts to grow, to learn, to be, to love. So please do love. Now, bless you all. Have a fantastic week and a great festival of love. A week of love and light, a week of peace, a week of miracles. Examine your intentions. Use them to imprint your will on the universe, because we set in motion everything that happens in our lives. Our intention, our kavanah, our cause, our effect, everything is linked. As I said, you always have time to forgive and be forgiven. You have the knowledge of what's good and bad. So acknowledge what you've done wrong to yourself, to God, to any person you've wronged, and ask forgiveness. But do so with sincerity, with accountability, with vulnerability. Forgive those who've hurt you as you learn to be forgiving and compassionate, because the secret of forgiveness, compassion, and peace is in acceptance. Can you accept yourself, other people in the world just as they are? Can you accept life just as it is without trying to control it? If you do, you can experience the peace that acceptance brings. So do not stop your journey. Do not stop moving towards your promised land. Keep on dreaming. Keep on being, keep sharing, keep shining, keep teaching, keep spreading joy and goodwill. Do not follow fear, follow love, because it's always in front of you. And remember to have faith, an unwavering adherence to principle, just as I have faith in the principle of love and of all of you. Act with purity of heart and mind. Despise none, defraud none, hate none. Cherish all. Honor every child of God, every creature of the earth. May all people know peace in this year. May you nurture kindness and love everywhere you go. Work to be present in the body. Expand your heart, quiet your mind, because the deepest source of real power lies in consciousness and your ability to be mindful, to be aware, to be present in all of life's circumstances. So make the most of your time in this life. Continue to touch and transform the lives around you, because you're never alone. You are forever blessed and have the ability to bring blessings to everybody you meet, health, love, and renewal to everybody you come across. We're all energy. Energy cannot be destroyed. It can only be transformed. Friends, your words are your power to transform, to love, to bless. So be generous. Bless others and bless yourself. Love with the heart, because we're all part of a greater whole. And please embrace love, not fear, forgiveness, not anger, and be there for someone. Someone will always be there for you, whether you know it or not. And continue to explore faith and belief in what they mean to you and you alone, and never accept shame as a natural state. Whatever you feel, others have felt. Whatever you've experienced, others have too. We share together. We learn together and we help each other, because we are each of us trying to find love and acceptance and support we all have or could have that special someone in our lives. So find them and tell them what they mean. Remember, you're never alone on your journey to your promised land. Keep forgiving those you need to forgive, and keep asking forgiveness from those you need to ask forgiveness of. Continue to ask why, and continue to honor and elevate the souls and the spirits of those who came before. Get out there and celebrate love, the key to life and everything you've actually ever wanted. Well, I'm in the mood for love. Simply because you're near me. Funny, but when you're near me, I'm in the mood for love. Heaven is in your eyes, bright as the stars we're under. Is there any wonder? I'm in the mood for love. Now, who isn't in the mood for love? Get out and love, my friends. Thank you for joining me. Keep sharing the light, practice forgiveness, be thankful, be gracious, be kind, be loving. Believe in yourself and continue to spread a little goodwill to the world and continue to be the miracle in somebody's life. Shabbat Shalom and blessings to you all. Take care.